Contributions of John, Dryden and Alexander Pope. John Dryden was an English poet, literary critic, translator, and playwright who was appointed England's first poet laureate in 1668. He is seen as dominating the literary life of Restoration England to such a point that the period came to be known in literary circles as the Age of Dryden. Dryden received a classical education and was a graduate of Trinity College. Dryden addresses the characteristics needed of an effective critic in an essay of dramatic poesy and heroic license, while in an essay on criticism, Dryden uses the example of Shakespeare to contend that while Shakespeare was naturally learned, he is many times flat, insipid, his comic wit degenerating into clinches, his serious swelling into bombast. Dryden concurs with this sentiment, positing with his propriety of thoughts and word, or in other terms thoughts and words elegantly adapted to the subject. Dryden also notes that if critics assented to this definition, then there would be no reason for poets and critics to disagree. Dryden expresses his views on writing as rhetoric made an art. Although Dryden at times doesn't seem to stay faithful to his words, he still knows how to feed the mind full of satire and wit. Alexander Pope was an English poet, translator, and satirist of the Augustan period, and one of its greatest artistic exponents. Pope did not receive a classical education and educated himself through self-study and determination. Pope addresses effective qualities needed in a critic, as well as readers and authors. Pope believes that taste and genius are given by heaven. Pope illustrates true poets are in danger of having their genius bewildered in the maze of schools and to made coxcombs nature meant but fools. He also states that authors are partial to their wit. Ti is true but are not critic to thi a judgment too, arguing that the lesser of two evils is being a bad writer, because a bad critic influences many while a bad writer only influences those who have read their literature. Pope observes that if we look more closely, we shall find most have the seeds of judgment in our mind. Pope's mastery shines through clever, accessible language and comedy, a feat exceptionally impressive given the level of education he received. Despite their vastly different backgrounds, both are considered masters of literary criticism and authorship during England's Restoration and Neoclassical period. Their views on both issues are expressed in essays on the subjects. The two men also believed that great poets study and emulate the ancients, such as Virgil and Homer. The two authors differ when it comes to formal education. However, if there's one thing both Dryden and Pope agree on, it's the art of writing and the skill set required to mold a great writer. However, if there's one thing both Dryden and Pope agree on, it's the art of writing and the skill set required to mold a great writer with more of a visual imagination. Prepared by Alexel L. Imbar BS English 3.